Martha Zoller Show filling in today. We've got the doors barricaded. They're locked down. We got the windows covered. And we have removed all the hooks from the room so management cannot invade our space. And it's me and the executive producer extraordinaire, Brother Logan. And we're going to put on a good show for you today. Got lots of good sound bites, a lot of good stories to talk about, and of course with my commentary and analysis from a biblical worldview. That's the worldview that I have. That's the lens from which I see the world. Well, let's begin. I love to begin with, this is my favorite way to start. And we're going to ask Miss Brinson. Kiddos, y'all come on in, circle around. This is Miss Brinson's Lakeview kindergarten class. Go ahead, kiddos.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, kiddos. Go next door, get you an ice cream on Jay Jacobs. He'll be glad to pick that up for you. All right, look, we've got a great show lined up for you. By the way, some hitting news. What do you call that, Bill Logan? When it's
breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news.
Some breaking news out there in Radio Land. Just got word that James Comey, James Comey just got indicted. James Comey's attorney has just produced a letter signed by 51 intelligence officers that proclaim James Comey's innocence. So there you go. It must be true, right? I mean, these 51 intelligence officers, they were right about Hunter Biden's computer. Must be right about James Comey as well. Well, look, I want to just tell you, we got a lot of good stories I want to talk about today. I still want to talk a little bit about Hamas. And, they're still wreaking havoc. Right? I mean, the one part of this 4 or 5 piece, plan is underway. I get that. But there's a lot of more work to be done, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm very celebrated, very happy, very thankful. Boy, the elation of these hostages returning home was fantastic, wasn't it? But there's a lot of work to be done and some sad news still on the front. And we'll talk about that. But as I closed yesterday, which was really toward the very end of the show, and many of you may have already had to go do some stuff, I closed with Bill Maher talking about some stuff. But you may have missed my MAGA presentation. I put on my MAGA hat. You can see it if you go to the live stream, WDUN's Access WDUN on YouTube. You can see my MAGA hat. But I wanted to know if you could identify this MAGNA person, Make America Great Again, from years ago before being MAGNA was cool. Listen to this.
I believe that together we can make America great again. To secure a better future for your children and your grandchildren and to make America great again.
I want to attack these problems and make America great again.
It's time for another comeback. Time to make America great again.
There you go. Who was that? Who was that man? That was none other than your friend and my friend, to know him is to love him, Mr. Bill Clinton. He was talking about making America great again before it was cool. So I just thought I'd bring that to you. I mean, I always try to go into the archives and bring up stuff. And we're going to do that today because today I want to devote some of our showtime to the government shutdown. And there's just some stuff that the legacy media and other talk shows just aren't presenting to you that you're going to get today on the Martha Zoller Show from fill-in host Tom Smiley. I hope you'll stay tuned for that. But Bill Maher said something the other day about why the Democrats won't win again unless they make some changes. And I played that for you yesterday toward the end of the show, but now I want to bundle that with why Kamala Harris really lost. I'm going to let you hear it in her own words. So I want you to hear from Kamala Harris, because when you hear her, you'll understand why she lost. She, in this particular audio, she was asked a very simple question. Like name a couple of things that you would like to do, some specific things you would like to do to get the economy going, to do something for our country. That was the question. You'll hear her answer, and the answer she gives is the reason why she lost. Okay, so bear with me on that. I'm trying to help you here. But before you hear her words, I want you to hear what Bill Maher said, because he nails it. He nails it. If the Democrats don't change their ways, these socialist, Marxist, socialist, progressive, woke Democrats, if they don't change their ways, they're not going to win again in a large way. They'll win these little fragments, because there's these blue enclaves that, they're just going to always vote Democrat. I mean, if they ran Lassie, they'd vote for Lassie. But listen to Bill Maher. Listen carefully. I want you to turn your radio. Now I'll get Logan, our producer. He's going to have to beep out a couple of words, because Bill Maher, not only is he not funny, he uses some language that he shouldn't use, but his commentary on this particular subject is very good. He nails it. So listen carefully.
Most liberals are insane, but neither do they make it clear they disapprove of the ones who are. And their cowardice in not marginalizing their own crazies has been their downfall. I couldn't get Neil deGrasse Tyson, a genius scientist and preeminent scientific voice in the media, to agree that it was ridiculous for Scientific American and The Atlantic to be claiming that separating sports by sex doesn't make sense. Yes, it does. Actually, it makes perfect sense. And it's obvious that it does. And there's a lot of stuff like that on the left. And when conservatives see it, they say, I'm sorry, we're just not going to go along with reinventing society, often pointlessly, even if we have to cancel democracy to do it. That's what they're saying. They see gender as only a construct and sex is assigned at birth, and they say, we're not doing that. Transing kids by self-diagnosis with no age limit, no parental notification, and no acknowledgement of social contagion, not doing it. Asylum now covers any reason for anyone to come to America, not doing it. Homelessness is a lifestyle. Natural immunity doesn't count anymore. Whiteness is toxic. Penises in women's prisons. Welcoming the Intifada. We're not doing it. And so, folks, if we are ever going to get back to the old America, that's got to be the Democrats' part of the bargain. Stop coming up with radically new and often terrible ideas, and then in the next breath insist there be no debate about any of it. That if you don't see it right away and go along, you're bad, stupid, and deplorable. As if you were saying, duh, 2 + 2 = 5. Isn't that obvious? Yeah, it's obvious you can't add. You can't just say shit. Math is racist. Queers for Palestine. Looting is cool. Healthy at any weight. If the men's football team played the women's team, it would be a tie. You can't just say shit. I mean, you can, but it doesn't make it true, because you're not Harry Potter. No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so I apologize for his language. He shouldn't be using that. And thank you, extraordinary producer, for taking care of that for us. Listen, he's right. Don't you agree? I mean, send me a text, 770-535-2911. Give me a thumbs up, thumb down on Bill Maher's commentary. I mean, he's right. Even if you're a Democrat, I'd like to hear from you, because if you're a Democrat, you have to say he's right. All of my Democratic listeners, the 3 or 4 of you out there, you know he's right. The problem with the Democratic, woke, socialist, communist, progressive, Marxist party is you have wrong ideas. Wrong stuff. I mean, gender surgery for any kid at any age? Asylum for anybody for any reason? Healthy, no matter what your weight is, you're healthy. I mean, the world is flat. Whatever you want to say, it doesn't make it true. All right, now, this is why the Democrats lost. This is why Kamala Harris lost. Before we go to break, here's a question. A very simple question was asked to Kamala Harris. This was her answer. And the American people said, what is she talking about?
Kamala Harris sat down and did a one-on-one interview that you probably had no idea she did. It wasn't on a national level. It was the local ABC affiliate, ABC News again, in Philadelphia, a guy named Brian Taff. He must be good. Philadelphia is a large television market. You've got to be good to work there. But this interview was interesting because it's, again, the first one-on-one. Walz wasn't there, and he asks her a simple question. Give me 2 examples of how you want to fix the economy or bring down costs. Here's what she said.
Bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people. Yeah. What are 1 or 2 specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard. She was able to finally save up enough money to buy our first house when I was a teenager. I grew up in a community of hardworking people, construction workers and nurses and teachers, and I try to explain to some people who may not have had the same experience, but a lot of people will relate to this. I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn, and I was raised to believe and to know that all people deserve dignity, and that we as Americans have a beautiful character. We have ambitions and aspirations and dreams, but not everyone necessarily has access to the resources that can help them fuel those dreams and ambitions.
I don't know what she's talking about. The question was, can you give us 1 or 2 examples of how you're going to bring costs down? She's proud of her.
That is why Kamala Harris lost. It wasn't because she was a woman of color. It wasn't because America wasn't ready for her. It wasn't because she isn't capable. She was a poor candidate. She had not only bad ideas, she had very few ideas. She was asked a question. Give me 2 specific things you would do to make things better. How about this? Lower taxes and less regulation. That'd work. I mean, this could be very simple. I'm telling you, that's why she lost. Combine that with what Bill Maher just said, and now you have the formula for their continued defeat. And I hope they are defeated, because the woke, communist, socialist, Marxist, Democratic Party can only bring about the ruination of our country. We need a good, strong 2-party system. I agree with that, but not the Democratic, woke, socialist, communist party we have today. These people are wacko. Just look around you. We'll be right back after this break. You're listening to Tom Smiley on The Martha Zoller Show.
In North Georgia,
it's the topics that matter to me.
We're your eyes and ears in the community with the latest breaking news.
It's the most important thing we face.
AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. Always here, always local.
Jim Shorkey Gainesville Kia welcomes you to celebrate the grand opening of our new location all month long. Join us for special events every Saturday in October and grand opening offers you can't miss. Bring the family and check out our brand new state-of-the-art dealership and service center. Plus, enjoy food trucks and entertainment for everyone. Visit us today and join the party at 2359 Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Your deal, your way. What a great day at Jim Shorkey Gainesville Kia.
You already know Gainesville Mechanical for their award-winning HVAC service, but did you know they handle plumbing too? Because plumbing problems never happen at a good time, you need a trusted, experienced team there when they do. From small leaks to major repairs, Gainesville Mechanical is here for you with 24/7 no overtime rates through their Customer Assurance Maintenance Plan. Proud to be named Best of Hall for HVAC and plumbing, Gainesville Mechanical and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep North Georgia cool since 1989.
Rise and shine with M&R Equipment and Rental. Your project success is our first job of the day. Whether it's landscaping, construction, or home renovation, we've got your back with our wide range of high-quality tools and equipment. We make starting your day easy. Simply pick your tool, choose your rental period, and get down to business. No job is too big or small. From saws to skid steers, we've got you covered and at prices that won't break your budget. Visit us at mnrrental.com. We're here to help you build a brighter tomorrow.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet newsroom, 7 commuters are killed in Monday afternoon's multi-vehicle wreck on I-85 in Jackson County. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Wow, that was a pretty quick 22 minutes. So very happy that you're joining me on the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley filling in for Martha. She'll be back on Thursday. I'll be here with you again tomorrow if nothing happens or goes awry. All right, well, look, great sound bites, great stories coming up, lots of more good information for you. But let's catch a phone call first. 770-535-2911 is our number. You can call or text me on that. By the way, go to YouTube and type in their Access WDUN, scroll down just a tad, and you can see a little camera box there. Click on that, and you'll see me live and in person with my 2 hat props that are there for a reason. I use props to help with the stories, so check that out if you want to. All right, let's go Chad on the phone. Hello, Chad. Good morning.
Good morning. God bless everybody, and God bless them, all the people that get involved in that wreck on 85 and their families.
Thank you, Chad.
But anyway, I got just simple. I know why the Democrats can't win, and they will not win again. Hopefully they won't. They might win some of the small elections, but they won't win no big ones. But if you hit the rewind button to 2016 and play it, don't be scared, play it. It'll show you why they cannot win. And God is punishing them, and he will punish them.
Well, Chad,
all I gotta say.
Well, thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. I think Bill Maher, I don't even have any appreciation for Bill Maher. He's, in my opinion, he's not funny, and he's not anyone I would agree with. But in this particular instance, his commentary on why the Democrats won't win again, you should look that up and listen to it again if you missed it, is spot on. And I think he's exactly right. And not to mention my little archive video, or archive audio about Kamala Harris not answering the question, what could you do specifically, again, just illustrates why they are in such bad shape. Because they have bad ideas. They have woke, communist, socialist, Marxist ideas. That's who they are. And I was about to say I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry. That's just who they are. That's who they've become. Pan Bondi. Golly, I mean, she is a tough cracker. I'm telling you right now, she's a tough nut to crack. And Senator Blumenthal, man, I've never had any confidence in him. You know, this is the guy that lied about his military service in Vietnam. And so I have no confidence in him. But he tried to question her integrity. This man who lied about his military service tried to question Pam Bondi's integrity, and she laid into him, and I was glad to hear it.
They fled U.S. justice to escape to Cuba. For decades, dozens of American fugitives, murderers, hijackers, and others have been living scot-free. Well, today marks the anniversary of one murder, that of a New Jersey state trooper whose convicted killer has been living in Cuba. Our senior correspondent, Eric Shaw.
Let's see. I got one here from a Facebook talking about an Excel spreadsheet. We got that. We'll go with that one. Roll with it.
You need an Excel spreadsheet to be able to follow their demands. Their demands to keep government open, you stack them here, you could stand on them and paint the ceiling. And that's not much of an exaggeration.
That's James. That was Senator Kennedy, and he was talking about the government shutdown there. So we'll get our paper straight here. I think I've got a wrong page there for you, Logan. But Bobby Kennedy talked about how we were lied to regarding COVID and the COVID lies, and why he had to go about firing some people with the CDC. And I just found that very interesting. I mean, understand this. Bobby Kennedy was called in to the Congress and just berated over the fact that he fired some people in the agency. Now, he is in charge of the agency. He is supposed to run the agency. And that's his job. And he is supposed to fire people who don't do their job. And I'll find that for you when we come back from the break, because I want you to hear him. And why are they questioning the fact that he is firing people? That was Biden's problem. The whole Afghanistan thing, the whole debacle and the withdrawal, nobody was fired. We'll get our ducks in a row here. We'll be right back. You're listening to Martha Zoller Show. I'm Tom Smiley filling in. We'll be right back.
Aren't you glad that cooler weather and the fall planting season is here? This is Kelly, and Full Bloom Nursery is stocking up on beautiful mums and fall annuals. Plus, we're fully stocked with 4 acres of perennial shrubs and trees. Since 2003, Full Bloom Nursery has been helping customers all over North Georgia. To get started on your projects, give us a call at 678-616-3035. Visit fullbloomnursery.com for more info, and be sure to like us on Facebook to see what's growing.
This fall, give your lawn and food plots the winning edge with Limelight Pro. Now at Farmers Exchange in Cleveland. Limelight Pro is a premium, fast-acting pelletized lime that helps balance soil pH, unlock nutrients, and boost plant growth. Easy to spread, quick to work, and perfect for a fall application. Whether growing grass, gardens, or game plots, get the results you want with Limelight Pro. Farmers Exchange, your hometown partner for a stronger, greener season.
Hi, I'm John Shackelford, Executive Director of Eagle Ranch. For families in the middle of a struggle, knowing what is needed and where to go for help can be hard. To support these families, we created First Step Counseling. This new program allows families looking for help to meet with an Eagle Ranch counselor to share their story and make a plan for healing and renewal before starting therapy. Counselors are standing by and ready to meet with you and your family in person within a few days, so no long wait list. And like all Eagle Ranch services, no one is turned away because of financial constraints. Schedule a call with our First Step team today by going to eagleranch.org.
He's won the right to go after the championship in Phoenix. Danny Hamlin takes down the win in the South Point 400. Kyle Larson, the runner-up, 1.5 seconds back.
Up next, the round of 8 continues with 500 miles around Talladega. Hear the Yellowwood 500 Sunday at 1 on North Georgia's home of NASCAR. WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 9:30.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. President Trump back at the White House as the world celebrates the dawn of peace in the Middle East. Phase 2, with stress around the edges. Hamas failed to deliver the bodies of 24 deceased hostages as promised.
Obviously, Hamas is playing games and is not doing it in good faith.
Rotem Cooper's father was 84 when he was taken. And peace leaves a vacuum with reports that the weekend Hamas has executed over 30 people in Gaza accused of treason with Israel or being rival gang members. Amid a new surge of UN aid going to Gaza civilians, 600 trucks a day. House Speaker Mike Johnson says we're barreling toward one of the longest government shutdowns in history, day 14. Another Senate vote this afternoon. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy posting where our air traffic controllers working without pay to keep our airspace safe. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
WDUN.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow. A wreck along I-85 in Jackson County Monday afternoon claims the lives of 7 commuters. WDUN's Lawson Smith has more.
Georgia State Patrol continues to investigate what led to a multiple vehicle wreck on I-85 northbound Monday afternoon that left all lanes blocked at mile marker 147. Initial reports indicate that a semi-trailer was following too close to a Dodge van, made contact and set off a chain reaction collision with at least 4 more vehicles. The 7 occupants of the Dodge van were pronounced dead at the crash scene, but their names have not been released as the exact cause remains under investigation.
Forsyth County-based State Senator Greg Dolezal has announced his run for lieutenant governor. He joins an increasingly crowded field that includes 8 Republicans in total.
I wrote the Riley Gaines Act to keep men out of women's sports and locker rooms and stop DEI mandates in public schools.
Dolezal already voted yes to passing legislation this year that effectively eliminated DEI at the public school level in Georgia. State Senator for District 14, Josh McLaurin, is the only Democrat announcing a run for lieutenant governor. And Georgia faces an extreme drought, but rain is expected by the weekend. Lack of precipitation reportedly will cause conditions throughout the state to deteriorate further, and even portions of South Georgia reaching extreme drought status. We could see rain in the area by Sunday. More details and news at Access WDUN. And now here is your Access WDUN weather forecast from meteorologist Holly Strano.
Good Tuesday morning to you, North Georgia. Lots of sunshine and temperatures will be warming into the lower 80s. Clear skies into your evening with lows overnight in the 50s. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
In Cleveland, 60 degrees. In Talmo, 64. And in Gainesville, 63. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9. WDUN.
While technology has certainly changed the way people do business, it hasn't changed the way we treat our customers. It's Mike Cormier, and at Hardy Chevrolet, we are as committed to excellent customer service as the Hardys were when they started the business here in Gainesville over 4 decades ago. When it's time for a new or used vehicle, remember what Charles Hardy always said.
We love you and we need you.
Together, let's drive. At Hardy Chevrolet, Brownsbridge Road in Gainesville, online at hardychevrolet.com.
Fall has arrived, and with it, big jobs for your business. From leaf piles growing to debris cleanup, you'll need equipment that can keep up with the work. At Howard Brothers, they've got you covered with a full lineup of Skag street blowers, vacuums, and debris loaders. Some of the most powerful tools in the industry. With Skag, you'll tackle every job with ease and deliver the premium service your customers expect. You demand simply the best, and that's exactly what Skag delivers. Stop by your local Howard Brothers today and gear up for the fall work heading our way.
Use the Access WDUN Talk and Text line, presented by M&R Rental at 770-535-2911, and be part of the conversation. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. So very happy to be with you. I'm Tom Smiley filling in for Martha. Extraordinary producer Brother Logan has got us all worked out now. I'm sorry for those little minor glitches. But I was talking about Bobby Kennedy, RFK Jr. And I got thinking about him last night. I saw his wife being interviewed on one of the network shows. And I thought she did a very good job. And I was very interested in what she had to say, giving some insight into their marriage, into their somewhat different policy opinions. But I mentioned, Joe Biden. Now, he did fire some people. He fired a lot of Trump appointees, when he went in. He fired some other people that, in the transition period. But I was referring mainly to the Afghanistan withdrawal, that debacle. 13 Marines and soldiers that were killed by the suicide bomber. I mean, what general was fired? Who was dismissed? And then here comes Bobby Kennedy along, and he's in charge of, his department. He sees that the CDC has not done their job, and he begins to fire some people. And he gets called in. Because evidently these people in Washington think that once they get a job, they have a job for life. And it's just their job. Well, it's not their job. It's only their job if they do their job. And so here's Bobby Kennedy talking about why he fired some of these people.
Sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC. They did not do their job. This was their job to keep us healthy.
Thank you,
And
Mr.
I need to fire some of those people to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Is that pretty simple? Because if he doesn't get the job done, they're going to call him in on the carpet. And when he does make decisions to fire people and replace them with competent people who have the capacity to do the job, he gets called in on the carpet. Well, Bobby Kennedy had more to say at that particular gathering, because then he started talking about the lies that were told, especially regarding COVID. You remember that, right? COVID, you remember those lies? I believed some of those lies. I trusted our officials. I trusted some in the medical fields. I trusted them. I assumed they were telling me the truth. I believed some of them. And we find out now that many of them were telling us lies. Some of them were purposeful lies. Some of them perhaps were, maybe they were lying and didn't know it. But Bobby Kennedy talked about that as well. Listen.
About everything. We were lied to about natural immunity. We were told again and again the vaccines would prevent transmission. They'd prevent infection. It wasn't true. They knew it from the start it wasn't true, because that's what the animal studies and the clinical trials showed. We were told that there was science behind cloth masks. The CDC allowed the teachers union to write the order closing our schools, which hurt working people all over the country, and then pretend it was science-based. During COVID, probably the most famous scientist on ACIP was Martin Kulldorff from Harvard, the great, world-renowned epidemiologist and vaccinologist. And he criticized the COVID booster mandates. They ejected him from COVID because he wasn't in the orthodoxy. The two biggest health officials at FDA during COVID, Dr. Gruber and Dr. Krause, criticized the Biden mandates, vaccine mandates. President Biden said in August, I would never take that vaccine, the Trump vaccine. And he came in, he mandated it, and then he fired the two top health officials at FDA who said, hey, this thing has not been properly tested. So the whole process was politicized.
See, they don't want to hear the truth. These people don't want to know the truth. They can't handle the truth. Bobby Kennedy, I have other audio. I don't have it with me today, but other archived audio I have that talks about how Bobby Kennedy just laid it out for them. Many of those people on that dais, they've taken money from these pharmaceuticals. Big money. They're not interested in the truth. Just partisan politics. I mean, I've got an audio from in my archive somewhere where Bernie Sanders admits everybody's taking money from the pharmaceuticals. He says it. Democrats, Republicans, he says we all have taken money. We all are taking money. They're not interested in the truth, and they just cannot abide Bobby Kennedy. They just cannot, because he's telling the truth. I don't know. There was a day I remember as a kid growing up when I had great esteem. I held in great esteem our political leaders and those who worked in these positions of authority and in positions of service. I just felt like they were, just great people. And they appeared to be moral people, Christian people. But today I'm beginning to see and sense that we don't have the same type of people in leadership that we used to have 20, 30, 40, well, not even 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And Bobby Kennedy is just an example of exposing some of it. I mean, we're just finding people who will lie about anything. As a matter of fact, I was reflecting on some of the calls and texts I got yesterday. And I had, those of you who were listening yesterday, you remember perhaps a call I got from one of our listeners. And I was just reflecting on that. And maybe I should do what other people do. Just make up stuff. And when someone says something that I disagree with, just make it up and say it's not true. Like, well, the world's round. No, it's not. It's flat. What? Well, the world is round. No, it's not. It's flat. I mean, that's how people want to talk today. You can't have intelligent conversation with people because they just want to make up their own facts. What was the line that I think it was Pence? I think it was Vice President Pence who had the line in his debate where he said, I think it was something to the effect, you can have your own opinion, but you can't have your own truth. I read one time many years ago that truth cannot contradict itself. The truth does not contradict itself. If it's true for you, it has to be true for me. Can you follow me on that? I know it's a little deep. Can you follow me on that? Truth cannot contradict itself. If it's true for you, it has to be true for me. If there are just two genders, then there are just two genders. There cannot be two genders for me and multiple genders for you. It's impossible. Are you with me? And that's the problem we have today. Same way with the word tolerance. I'm laying some heavy stuff on you right now. I'm on a roll. Don't disturb me. I'm on a roll. Tolerance. Tolerance used to be, I would allow you your opinions and I wouldn't beat you up or kill you for it. I would allow you to have your opinions. I would give you the margin to speak your opinion. Today, tolerance means if I don't accept as truth your opinion, then I am being intolerant. That is ignorant. Do you see the difference? People today call me intolerant because I refuse to accept as truth what they say is true when I know it's not. It's not true. I'm not going to look at a man dressed up like a woman and call him a woman. I don't care if he is playing on a girls' softball team or if he's a congressperson in the U.S. Senate or Congress. He is a man dressed up like a woman. That is not true. Now, am I being intolerant? No, I'm being truthful. All right, I know I'm laying some heavy stuff on you right now. Don't wreck your car over it. Pull off to the side of the road if you need to kind of think those two things through. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to get to the point where we are truthful and where we tell the truth and where we can debate the truth. And I'm really concerned that we are at a point now in our country where nobody wants to debate the truth. They just want to yell louder their opinions. So maybe we should all just join in. Somebody calls up here and says the world is round. Maybe I should say, well, you know what? It's not. It's flat. Sky's blue. Well, actually, it's purple. All right, we'll be right back. We'll take a quick break. Got a couple of really good stories, but I want to focus on the government shutdown. I've got some great audio about that. Again, you just cannot believe how people lie about this government shutdown. It's just amazing. I don't know what their mom has taught them about telling the truth. And then coming up around the 10 o'clock hour, we have another candidate for Hall County District 3. We're going to be giving a chance to talk to a little bit. So stay tuned for that. You're listening to The Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley.
Next week on The Martha Zoller Show, Tom Smiley is filling in for me, and he'll have some great guests. You don't want to miss a minute. Join him at 9 on North Georgia's News Talk, WDUN.
Hey, it's Chuck Dowdle, and I'm looking for 25 Super Dog fans to go with me May 6th to Iceland with Colette and Peach State Bank and Trust. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to teach them how to call the dogs in Icelandic. we're going to see massive glaciers that sculpt mountains and valleys. We're going to see thundering waterfalls and plunging fjords. We're going to walk on a black volcanic sand beach, relax in the warm, mineral-rich water of the Sky Lagoon. And Colette has us covered, from arranging the flights, meals, hotels, and all the local experiences, allowing us to simply enjoy the journey. So call Colette at 800-581-8942 or visit WDUNtravels.com to learn more.
Let me show you the world. Come away with me.
Presented by Colette, Peach State Bank and Trust, and WDUN. Go Dogs!
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
I'm willing to wager that when you cook, you don't skimp on quality. At Loretta's Country Kitchen, we don't either. This is Grant Nichols at Loretta's, where we use only the best ingredients, including Springer Mountain chicken tenders, canned sauces, Hormel bacon, and Jimmy Dean's sausage. It's also why we make our biscuits from scratch every day. We don't compromise on quality, and neither should you. Enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner with us, and bring your friends. Loretta's Country Kitchen, Mundy Mill Road, Oakwood, where it's all good.
There's nothing like cool, crisp air of fall in North Georgia after a hot, humid summer. Conditioned Air Systems is here to get your HVAC system ready for the changing seasons. With regular maintenance that saves you money on your energy bill, and look no further for quick, reliable plumbing repairs or installation services. Conditioned Air Systems has been a trusted name in Northeast Georgia for over 45 years. Call us today at 1-800-AC-REPAIR.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, another candidate for Lieutenant Governor in Georgia. This one from Forsyth County formally announces their run. Details at Access WDUN. And coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
All right, thank you so very much. Boy, I was on a roll there. You should put a tag on that last little diatribe of mine there, extraordinaire producer, and save that for the show notes. That was good stuff. All right, let me talk about the government shutdown, because I want to do it with these Democrats' own words, right? Their own words. First of all, the Democrats say this isn't about, health care for non-citizens. That's a bunch of hooey. Well, that's not actually the case.
Shut down your government. Subtitle B, Health, Section 71109, specifically for aliens, non-citizens. Democrats shut you down for non-citizens. Check it for yourself.
That's exactly correct. Check it out. Look it up. That's why they shut down the government. It's easy. Very easy. Mike Johnson had something to say, and I love the way he framed this. Now, Mike Johnson is a fine man, and he's getting more and more bold. He's not getting nasty. He's not getting ugly. He's not ugly, but he just is getting more and more bold. And I love what he said here. He said, look, AOC, she hasn't read the documentation. It does restore health care to illegals. Everything they worked hard in getting the big, beautiful bill passed, they got a lot of junk out of that, and they finally got it passed. They finally negotiated and got it passed, and now the Democrats want to come in and put all of that back in through this holding the Congress hostage. And Mike Johnson says, well, we're not going to do that. AOC is not going to hold us hostage. She hasn't even read it.
AOC has not read the legislation that her party filed, okay? It's page 57, section 2141. You can pull it, go to speaker.gov. I made it easy. It's right there for you. You can see the bill they filed would 100% restore health care paid for by taxpayer dollars to illegal aliens. The calculation is about $200 billion. She hasn't read the legislation, and I'm not sure she would understand it even if she did. AOC has not read.
$200 billion. $200 billion. They want to put that back in the budget. $200 billion. We just got it out of the budget. They lost the budget discussion. The big, beautiful bill was passed. It was difficult. It was negotiated for days and days and days, and we finally got it passed. And now the Democrats, because they didn't get their way, they're holding the country hostage. And it is about illegal health care for illegals, or health care for illegals. It is about that, among other things. Adam Schiff said this about government shutdowns years ago. Now, these are his words. These are his words years ago. And yet, he acts like he's never even said this or believed it before.
But you actually did make a similar point back in 2013. That's when Tea Party Republicans pushed to shut down the government against Obamacare. Let me play that for you, get your reaction on the other side.
It's more than fair to ask the president to negotiate improvements to the Affordable Care Act, but not with the threat of shutting down the government or defaulting on our debt. It's just no way to do business and can't be allowed to proceed that way, not only for this president, but for future presidents.
Are you listening? I mean, are you with me today? I've put this together for you to make it easy. I'm so tired of listening to the legacy media try to tell me that this isn't about what it's about. And I am giving you, in their own words, information that you can see for yourself. You don't have to trust me. I know that you perhaps maybe don't trust me. I'm letting you hear in their own words. Adam Schiff has said on numerous occasions regarding these bills that they should not shut the government down. They should pass these clear resolutions. They should pass these things and then start negotiating. That's what he's always said. That's what Chuck Schumer's always said. And yet now it comes opportunities and they do just the opposite. They are liars. I hate, my mother would wash my mouth out with soap when I was a little boy, and I used that word. She would wash, and so only because she's in heaven can I say that word today. Or she'd come up here and wash my mouth out. But that's who they are, and I'm letting you hear it in their own words. Now, here's a montage of Nancy Pelosi and several others on the CR. Now, just listen to this for yourself.
You say this is a Republican shutdown, but it's Democratic senators who are withholding their votes on what is called a clean resolution. That means no strings attached, which is something, quite frankly, Leader, that you and other Democrats have advocated for in the past. Take a look.
You do not use the threat of shutting down government to try to advance your policy agenda.
First thing that the House has to do is pass a clean 6-week CR.
A continuing resolution that is at the fiscal year 2023 levels is the only way forward.
How much plainer can it be? I feel like I'm talking, I mean, how much plainer can it be? These people are not serious. And this gets me to my next to the last audio, because John Kennedy, the senator from Louisiana, you and I, we love him to death because he's just so plain spoken. He has all of these little isms, these John Kennedy isms that are so good. You know, my grandmother had a lot of them. But he is so plain spoken, and he knows that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are not serious. We know they're not serious. I've just played you 5 audios that tells you they're not serious. And here's when he knew they weren't serious about this shutdown.
Spreadsheet to be able to follow their demands. Their demands to keep government open. You stack them here, you could stand on them and paint the ceiling. And that's not much of an exaggeration. And when Senator Schumer announced these demands, that's when I knew. I knew it in a nanosecond. We're going to have a shutdown. Because my colleagues, my Democratic colleagues, are very smart people. And Senator Schumer is a smart person. And he knew when he announced these demands that I could tell he wasn't serious. He knew they were unserious. And he knew that neither the president nor the other members of Congress were going to accept them. And you know what? Many Democrats know they're unreasonable as well. So that's why I say the policy part of this makes absolutely no sense. And that's because this isn't about policy. This shutdown is about politics.
There you go. All right, last one's about 30 seconds or so. And this is John Kennedy saying, it's about politics. And so this is how Chucky Schumer is going to end up getting out of this stupid government shutdown.
I predict Schumer's going to get out of it. I could be wrong. But I think we're not going to budge. And he's going to be forced to go to 6 or 8 of his Democratic Senate colleagues and say, look, I need a favor. Vote to get me out of this shutdown.
Yeah.
He said, now, he's going to tell them, now, look, I got to vote no. Yeah. And I got to dog cuss you a little bit. We got to make it. We got to have some play acting and make this look good. And then we come out of the shutdown. But Bernie, he's tough. But the danger for Bernie, I'm serious. What he's got to watch, he doesn't want to look like he's had a mutiny.
Well, there you go. There you go. Thank you, extraordinary producer. Worked hard on putting that together for you. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be right back. We have a special guest announcing a candidacy for Hall County Commissioner. You stay tuned. We'll be right back.
For more than 40 years, Eagle Ranch has provided a community of support for children and families with significant challenges. I'm John Vardaman, a proud Gainesvillian and a longtime friend and supporter of Eagle Ranch. I've watched the ranch grow from a dream to a pillar in our community. It now offers outpatient counseling and a day school alongside its residential program. In all this change, Jesus Christ is still at the center. Learn more at eagleranch.org.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 10 o'clock.
Paying tribute to Charlie Kirk. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News today would have been his 32nd birthday.
A young guy who was the most brilliant speaker that I had ever met, could really capture a room within moments and change hearts and minds.
Tyler Boyer is the chief operating officer at Turning Point USA, the conservative group Kirk co-founded. He'll be there later today when President Trump will posthumously award Kirk with the nation's highest civilian honor.
President Trump expects a packed house. He and Kirk enjoyed a mutually uplifting relationship. It was the president who first confirmed Kirk's death and on that same day announced plans to award him with the Medal of Freedom.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House.
And Erica Kirk will attend this celebration of life today. Friday marked the 1-month point since her husband's assassination.
In Pennsylvania, the man who firebombed the governor's mansion in April, Cody Balmer, just pleaded guilty to attempted murder, arson, and other charges. Governor Josh Shapiro and his family were home, not hurt at the time. A day after Hamas released all the living hostages, it still hasn't turned over the bodies of 24 others, only returning the remains of 4 so far.
We've also begun to learn a little bit more about what some of those hostages went through, including one man who said he was basically chained in the same spot in an underground tunnel for almost the entire 2 years, where he says he lost all sense of space and time. Now, all 20 of the freed hostages overnighted in hospitals, many of them choosing to stay outside or on balconies to try and see the stars at night after 2 years in captivity.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Tel Aviv. On day 14 of the government shutdown, there's another funding vote in the Senate, but it may fail like all the earlier ones tend to stand off.
Republicans say they want to negotiate with Democrats over health care concessions, but only after the government reopens. Democrats don't trust Republicans, though, to follow through and compromise.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. The White House Budget Office in a post on X announced it plans to pay the troops and law enforcement and continue laying off other federal employees not working in the shutdown. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow. And a wreck along I-85 in Jackson County Monday claims the lives of 7 commuters. More from WDUN's Logan Landers.
Georgia State Patrol continues to investigate what led to a multiple vehicle wreck on I-85 northbound Monday afternoon that left all lanes blocked at mile marker 147. Initial reports indicate that a semi-trailer was following too close to a Dodge van, made contact, and set off a chain reaction collision with at least 4 more vehicles. The 7 occupants of the Dodge van were pronounced dead at the crash scene, but their names have not been released as the exact cause remains under GSP investigation.
Forsyth County-based State Senator Greg Dolezal has announced he's running for lieutenant governor and joins an increasing crowded field that includes 8 Republicans in total.
I wrote the Riley Gaines Act to keep men out of women's sports and locker rooms and stop DEI mandates in public schools.
Dolezal already voted yes to pass legislation this year that effectively eliminated DEI at the public school level in Georgia. State Senator for District 14, Josh McLaurin, is the only Democrat who has announced a run for lieutenant governor. A 26-year-old is accused of damaging the Eternal Flame at the King Center early Saturday. Investigators say that he urinated in the reflecting pool and vandalized the flame, which is at the burial site of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The King Center remained open despite the damaged dome. And local philanthropist Adam May Pass-Ivester died Sunday following a sudden illness. The mother of philanthropist and businessman Doug Ivester, Ada May has been a lifelong resident of Hall County, having been born in New Holland in 1929 and graduating from Gainesville High School.
She was a force of nature, strong-willed, strong, opinionated, and very, I'd say, strict in her belief of how things should be and how people should conduct themselves.
That was Doug Ivester speaking about his mother's legacy. The family is encouraging donations to the Ada May Pass-Ivester Children's Garden at the Gainesville Botanical Gardens in lieu of funeral flowers. There's more news online by going to Access WDUN. Now here's your Access WDUN forecast from meteorologist Holly Strano.
A good Tuesday morning to you, North Georgia. Lots of sunshine for your morning drive, and temperatures by this afternoon will be warming into the lower 80s. Clear skies into your evening with lows overnight in the 50s. It's going to be an amazing weather day. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
Right now in Beaufort, 66 degrees. In Lula and in Gainesville, currently 65 degrees. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Waste Eliminator is a full-service waste management company providing critical disposal, recycling, and environmental solutions for business and residential clients. From large-scale commercial projects to smaller residential cleanups, Waste Eliminator offers reliable dumpster rental service tailored to your needs. Whether you're tackling a renovation, new construction, or even a simple home cleanout, Waste Eliminator will manage the waste efficiently and sustainably. Visit online at wasteeliminator.com.
Fall is planting time in North Georgia. This is Julie from Full Bloom Nursery, and now is the perfect time to plant pansies, perennials, shrubs, and trees. Planting in the fall gives your new plants time to become established without the stress of heat and dry weather. We've got over 4 acres of plants for you to choose from, so come see us for all your fall projects. Our knowledgeable staff will help you pick out the right plant for the right spot. Be sure to like us on Facebook and visit us on the web at fullbloomnursery.com.
talking about the issues that affect you most. It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical. Now from the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, here's Martha Zoller on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. Always here, always local.
Well, welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley, filling in for Martha today. I'll be back tomorrow if that's allowed. So, all right. So look, you can go to YouTube and then in the search bar type in Access WDUN. Scroll down just a tad. You'll see a little camera box there or something, and you'll see us live and in person here at the studio. And we have as our guest today Shannon Davison. Now, you might remember Shannon. He announced on the Martha Zoller Show a couple of months or so ago his candidacy for District 3 Hall County Commissioner. So there are several candidates who are running for that district, for that Hall County seat. Shannon is here to talk a little bit about his campaign, but also to talk about the present planning board. As you know, there are 5 members on the planning board, and recently in the newspaper and other media reports, that planning board has been suspended. And we'll let Shannon talk about why and some of the details regarding that. He is a member of that board, as I mentioned. But first, let me welcome Shannon and give us just a brief update, Shannon, about your candidacy and how folks can get in touch with you and how they could help you in your candidacy for District 3 Commissioner.
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Well, I appreciate you letting us be here today. Mm-hmm. This has been a fun start this season to getting into politics, I guess you'd say. I'm a small business owner. Been in business for 26 years. My company's Dental South. I've lived here my entire life, both sides of the county, East Hall and North Hall. Lived 20 years there. Mm-hmm. Moved back to the east side. So, Hall County's always been important to me. And that's one of the reasons I had decided to go ahead and put my hat in the ring for District 3. I did have a opportunity and a request from a good friend of mine who happens to be the chairman, David Gibbs, to be on the planning board, which I felt was an honor. That's nothing I take lightly. It's a very important job. We're out here trying to do the work for the people and the citizens. So
it's a hard job too, Shannon. I'm telling you, it's a tough job.
I'll tell you, and I think you had said to me before you'd been on some boards before, and it's a new experience. I dove in there and I did some studying and worked on it and found out that it is a little bit more work than I thought. Yeah. But that's okay, though. I mean, I appreciate the opportunity to serve the people.
And I know coming from a business background that you have, running a business, making a payroll, all that kind of stuff, you bring a different perspective, and sometimes it's interesting how those things don't sometimes jive up. Government service and a private business kind of stuff.
No, it doesn't. When people come in with applications and I see these small business owners and things, and I go, my goodness, to me, there's a little bit more red tape that needs to be there. It needs to be a little bit easier for these younger people and younger businesses to get out there and get started so, they can grow a company and grow jobs for this county. Yeah. So I think I feel like I kind of bring that little bit of reality. And when we're there serving the people and we're on that board and the citizens come up, I really take that serious. I really want to hear what their concerns are. If they're for an application or against an application. And we try to look at that during the time before we make a final vote. Right. And that's usually my biggest concern is to understand what is in front of me and what the citizens are looking for.
Now, how long have you been on the planning board?
Started February 1st.
Wow.
So
okay.
It's been a minute, but not too long. I'm still very new. Very new. So, it's been a very learned experience for sure.
Well, tell me a little bit about, I know we've had some stuff in the news media about the planning board being suspended.
Yes.
And you're a member of that board.
That is correct.
But tell us from your perspective about what happened and why it's suspended and from your perspective, what's going on and what you think the remedy might be.
Well, this is a situation where as going to these meetings and seeing things and trying to understand, how votes are done and how people decide to do things, there was a time when I just looked at it and thought, something doesn't seem quite right. But I'm new, so I'm learning. But I had a citizen reach out to me and say, I'm concerned about something, and so I feel like that's my job to listen And I said, well, what can I do for you? Well, I feel like that they're having some illegal meetings in at the county building. And I said, well, what makes you think that? Well, I've seen them go in conference rooms, and I would like for you to maybe go and look. So I thought about it a minute, and I thought, maybe this is what I'm supposed to. I need to look into this. Mm-hmm. So I took it upon myself to go up and take a look, and I did find exactly that. I immediately left, made a phone call to the chairman, David Gibbs, and I said, this is what I've seen. I said, I'm 100% sure that this is not what's supposed to be happening right now. I said, I'm pretty sure that this citizen will probably file for Open Records Act, and I want to let you know, you guys get out ahead of this, how you need to do it. I'm going to go back and do the work for the people. And that's exactly how that happened. At this point, it's turned into a situation where they have decided to suspend the planning board to do a third-party investigation, which is currently going on now. And my hope is that the other commissioners decide to get behind this investigation. Let's get to the bottom of it and go back to do the work for the people.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I have never one time ever been asked to be in a meeting or gone to a meeting. And that's why I went out on social media straight ahead. I mean, hey, I'm running for District 3 County Commissioner. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't be a good thing, you know? Yeah. So, that was my point, just to let people know where I am, what I'm doing, and to be very transparent. And I know we use that word a lot, but it's very important to actually utilize that word properly. Yeah. It's so easy to say, I'm going to be transparent, but then we find that that's really not the thing. So I want to be the integrity candidate and be transparent for the people. And you can go to davidsonforga.com, and I have a phone number there, and I encourage anybody to reach out, ask questions, send text messages. We're all over everything that we can be. And I feel like that's important so the public can learn what we're doing, why we're doing it. I run into a lot of people, Tom, that say, who is my commissioner? What is a commissioner? What's a district? Is that just East Hall or is that just North Hall? They're just not, educated on it. And I want that to be something that people feel comfortable that they can know who their commissioners are. Mm-hmm. They need to get out, take the time, do a little research, come to the meetings, be a part of it, understand what's going on in your community, because a lot of people will say, hey, can I vote for you or not vote for you? I'm in another district. And I go, you got to remember, if I have the opportunity to win, I vote for the entire county. Mm-hmm. And we have to look at both sides of the county from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because if 2 can come out for 4, you can get a lot more things done. You can look at things a little bit differently, and I think that's very important to keep the public involved.
Yeah. We're talking to Shannon Davison, who is a commissioner candidate for Hall County District 3 Candidate Commission, and he's announced several months ago he's been running his campaign. Tell us real quick about your website and your contact one more time, because I want folks to hear that.
It's davidsonforga.com, okay. And like I said, there's a phone number there that you can reach out to me at any time. There's, leave comments. Our social media is the same with Facebook and Instagram. Go there, read up, look and see what we've posted. We generally post regularly. We do videos regularly. We talk about projects that are coming up or they have already been voted on. Mm-hmm. We're concerned with a lot of the issues. It was a very good thing, going back, that I did see something that passed. It was very important to me, was the moratorium, which I think that gives us time to go back and look at these UDC codes and make some changes properly, so we can kind of slow down some of this high density, because I am for good quality growth. Mm-hmm. I'm not just growth to be growth. I've said this before, and people have probably seen this. It's been written about. This county's large enough now to where I think we should pick and choose what we do with it. I just feel like that we need to be a little bit more selective in our decision making on any kind of project that comes to our county. And we need jobs for these young kids. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say, why are you doing this? And I always make this funny statement, I guess I'm crazy. Well, that's not really it. The biggest thing is the youth. I have adult children and their friends who I'm really close with that have hard times finding jobs. Yeah. I'd love to see some really nice, good, high-paying jobs so these kids can actually afford what you and I probably know is a starter home. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many $450,000 starter homes have you had? Mm-hmm. Not me. I couldn't have done it.
That's right.
So those are my concerns, and that's what our campaign is about, and that's our platform. And we're going to just strive to do the best we can for this county, and that's our heart. That's our statement. That's what we believe in.
Well, I know that in talking about the planning board and it's being suspended, I know it's a reference, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sunshine Laws. Where there are legal laws that prohibit meetings among, members of boards and so forth that aren't announced and previously posted and all that kind of stuff. So, Shannon, looking at it from the board's been suspended.
Yes.
So I suppose the county commissioners, are actually doing the work of the board now. How
Yes,
much longer is that going to go on?
I
what
guess.
Do you think?
Well,
because that's going to slow things down a little bit, right?
Yeah, from what I understand, Hall County's in business still. Mm-hmm. They'll bypass this situation and keep moving forward at that time. And I guess when they're done with their third party, like I said, they'll probably take it up with the commissioners, I'm assuming,
Mm-hmm.
And with the chairman, and they'll sit down and make their final decisions of what they've come up with. Mm-hmm. And so we're just looking for a good result here.
Now, is some of your concerns posted on your website? Some of the information, you have a video about this and so forth?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Yep.
Well, Shannon, I know it took a lot of courage to do what you felt like you did. And I've been in your position before, serving on boards and so forth. And you just got to do what you believe is the right thing.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, it's a lot harder to do the right thing than it is to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So I've kind of just looked at this thing and felt like that honesty is where we need to be in local government. We need to be as transparent as we can, and I don't feel like that's where we are right now. And it's time to make some changes.
Well, folks, you've been listening to Shannon Davison, who is a candidate for Hall County Commission District 3, and he's been bringing us up to date on our present planning board, which he is a member of. And we will look forward to hearing more information about your candidacy and about this planning board suspension that we've been reading about. Go to his website. Once again, give us that information. Folks can go to, watch a video, learn more about your candidacy and about the planning board. Give us that one more time.
DavidsonforGA.com.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Shannon, for coming by.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll be right back. We'll take a quick break, and I've got some more stories for you and some other audio I want you to hear. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley.
Fuel our discussions with your opinions.
We need to talk about common sense here.
We're the station that gives you a voice.
It's my local station.
We're North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Some car dealers want to sell you a car. At Hardy Chevrolet, we'd rather help you find the vehicle that's right for you. This is Mike Cormier. We call it the Hardy Chevrolet difference. Since you're the one who will be in the driver's seat of that new Chevy, we think you should be in the driver's seat when it comes to making the selection. It's like Charles Hardy always said,
we love you and we need you.
Together, let's drive. At Hardy Chevrolet, Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville, online at hardychevrolet.com.
Are you frustrated with your contacts? Have your glasses become more of a burden? Well, don't suffer. Hi, this is Kim. Here at Advanced Eye Center, we offer all laser LASIK to free your eyes. When you consider not only the amount of money you pay for all of that eye gear, but also the amount of time you spend handling contacts, glasses, cases, solution, and eye drops, how can you not afford to have LASIK? Invest in you. Save your money. Save your time at Advanced Eye Center. Vision correction for all ages.
So it's time to replace your roof. You've seen your neighbor's metal roof and wondered if that's for you. The answer is yes, thanks to Dawsonville Metal Products. Metal roofing from Dawsonville Metal gives you the maximum choices for making your roof look and function its best. It can be installed over your existing roof and can boost your home's value. Let Justin Odom show you the many benefits of metal roofing. Call Dawsonville Metal Products at 706-265-3099 and visit them online at dawsonvillemetal.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, longtime Hall County resident and philanthropist Adam May Pass-Ivester has passed away this week. Details at Access WDUN. And coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
Use the Access WDUN talk and text line, presented by M&R Rental at 770-535-2911, and be part of the conversation. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. That was a very interesting interview. I'm sure our news folks will be looking at that and perhaps posting it for further listening pleasure. That was Shannon Davison, who was announced for the Hall County Commission District 3. And very interesting information there. All right, well, thank you for coming by and for sharing that. Let me talk a little bit about the Hamas. We talked about the hostages yesterday. I'm not going to review all that, but I just want to tell you that this is a very tenuous situation, ladies and gentlemen. The hostage release is just part of the plan. That may be the only part that ends up getting done. Now, I'm not trying to be a killjoy here. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I'm just telling you that may be the only part that gets done, because a very key aspect, and don't forget it, Netanyahu and that crowd, they've pulled back as they said they would, but I'm telling you, they will go back in with guns flaring and bombs dropping if Hamas doesn't continue to do what they are supposed to do, which is to disarm. And I'm not sure you're ever going to get the guns out of Hamas's hands. And if you do get them out of Hamas's hands, in whose hands will they go? I mean, you're talking about all kinds. You're not talking about 22 pistols, 22 caliber pistols and rifles. You're talking about some sophisticated weaponry. Provided by Iran, of course. But where are those weapons going? In whose hands are they going? Even the Gazans are concerned about what's going to happen next, because they are uncertain. And even Hamas is already trying. I mean, the peace deal is only a couple of days old, and even the terrorist group Hamas is trying to reassert its control. I mean, listen to this. This is Donald Trump declaring peace.
In darkness and captivity, 20 courageous hostages are returning to the glorious embrace of their families, and it is glorious. 28 more precious loved ones are coming home at last to rest in this sacred soil for all of time. And after so many years of unceasing war and endless danger, today the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace, a land and a region that will live, God willing, in peace for all eternity.
Well, those are great words. And, yesterday they were definitely true words. But, Trump declared the war is over. But Hamas terrorists right across the border in Gaza were reportedly killing its opponents in Gaza's city's main square in full view of the public, right after Trump said those words. Videos are circulating on social media appearing to show executions, which a military official from Israel told Fox News that Hamas' deliberate attempt to show the killings publicly is an opportunity and an effort to reestablish its control, its ruling over these terrorized citizens. Hamas isn't going away, ladies and gentlemen, very easily. In conversations with various news outlets, these Gazans, these citizens, describe Hamas fighters as reappearing in the streets, reasserting control. They're supposed to be laying down their arms. They're supposed to be surrendering their arms. They're not. Some of the Gazan citizens are saying, you can't say the war is finished. We have to wait a few weeks to see what happens. There are gangs in Gaza now. Hamas is trying to fight them. If they don't unify, another war will start. I'm telling you, this isn't over. Thank God Almighty that these hostages are home. At least they're home. That doesn't mean others won't be taken. I'm telling you, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. They've already seen the benefit of taking hostages. There'll be attempts. You better have your head on a swivel. These Hamas terrorists, they are evil, animal, barbaric people. You cannot negotiate with them. You cannot reason with them. They hate. All they do is hate. And you think they're going to give up power? What are they going to do? You think they're going to give up their guns and their weapons and their power so they can go work in the new hotels being built in Gaza as busboys? As cooks? Housekeepers? These people are not going to give up that easily. I'm telling you, Israel will be right back in there having to destroy. I wouldn't be rebuilding anything right now. I wouldn't be investing my money to rebuild anything until Hamas is totally eliminated. The ordinary Gazan citizens, I believe, they're exhausted and they're yearning perhaps for calm. They probably just want the bloodshed to stop. They probably want to stop losing their relatives and their friends and their children. But this is in their hands now. They need to get serious about what they want in their part of the world. We can't police it for them. And please don't put our military soldiers in that environment. Please don't do that, Mr. President. We'll be right back. You're listening to The Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley.
Fall is almost here and Farmers Exchange is geared up and ready. Whether you're planting food plots, overseeding your lawn, or prepping with the right fertilizer, we've got everything you need for a successful season. Just like our hometown football team, Farmers Exchange is built on hard work, dedication, and delivering results. Score big this season. Shop Farmers Exchange, where every customer is part of a winning team.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
Tune in to 2 hours of local football fun with the Pick'em Show, coach interviews, game previews, and general mayhem. So join Bo, Caleb, Jeff, and Walker Thursday nights at 6 on AM 550 and FM 102.9, or video stream them on YouTube at Access WDUN Sports. WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 10:30.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. President Trump back at the White House. He meets with Argentina's President Javier Milei this afternoon. Day 14 in the shutdown. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer earlier on Fox Business.
This is very damaging to the American public.
Fox's Chad Pergram.
Republicans hope this week is an inflection point on the government shutdown. They believe a combination of missed paychecks and mass firings could force Democrats to accept their position and reopen the government.
The U.S. Supreme Court rejects Alex Jones' appeal of that $1.4 billion judgment for calling Sandy Hook's school shooting a hoax. The InfoWars host claimed a judge was wrong to find him liable for defamation and infliction of emotional distress without holding a trial on the allegations. Jones filed for bankruptcy in 2022. His lawyers told the justice that the plaintiffs have no possible hope of collecting the entire judgment. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow. A wreck along I-85 in Jackson County Monday afternoon claims the lives of 7 commuters. WDUN's Lawson Smith reports.
Georgia State Patrol continues to investigate what led to a multiple vehicle wreck on I-85 northbound Monday afternoon that left all lanes blocked at mile marker 147. The semi-trailer was following too close to a Dodge van, made contact and set off a chain reaction collision with at least 4 more vehicles. The 7 occupants of the Dodge van were pronounced dead at the crash scene, but their names have not been released.
Forsyth County-based State Senator Greg Dozal has announced a run for lieutenant governor and joins an increasingly crowded field that includes 8 Republicans in total to date, including State Senator Steve Gooch and State Representative David Clark. While State Senator for District 14, Josh McLaurin, is the only Democrat who has announced a run for lieutenant governor. And a new analysis from Moody's suggests that Georgia and 21 other states are either in a recession or on the verge. GNN's Rebecca Hughes explains.
Moody's chief economist Mark Zandi says the state's problems stem from a mix of increasing tariffs coupled with federal job cuts and a slowing job market with stagnant wages. He posted on X saying, quote, states making up nearly a third of U.S. GDP are either in or at high risk of recession. Another third are just holding steady, and the remaining third are growing.
You'll find more news online at Access WDUN. Now here's your Access WDUN weather forecast.
North Georgia, lots of sunshine for your morning drive. Temperatures by this afternoon will be warming into the lower 80s. Clear skies into your evening with lows overnight in the 50s. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
In Brazelton, 67 degrees, Clarksville, 64, and in Gainesville, 66. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Fall in and save big at Krause Family Hyundai. This fall, drive a new Hyundai Santa Fe with as low as 0% APR financing, or lease a new Hyundai for as little as $239 a month. And every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and Hyundai Assurance. With hundreds of new Hyundais to choose from, you can get it all this fall. Visit KrauseFamilyHyundai.com for full details and see us on Atlanta Highway exit 16 off 985.
This is Nick
and Laura from
Nichols Body Shop. We want you to know it's your choice who repairs your vehicle.
Do not assume you can get the best repair for the cheapest price.
Every shop is different.
We work for you, our customer, to give you the best repair possible.
Learn more by calling 770-967-8200 or come by the shop. Estimates are always free.
You can also find us on Facebook at Nichols Body Shop,
the home of quality repairs
and old-fashioned service.
It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
All right, well, welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. So I am Tom Smiley filling in for Martha. I'll be back tomorrow, and then I probably will be middle of November before I'm back again. And then perhaps the end of November, we'll be back again as well. Always enjoy filling in for Martha, and I appreciate your kind support and your kind words. Got a couple of texts today. One or two of them is in regards to the Medal of Freedom being awarded to Charlie Kirk today. I believe it's around 4 o'clock. It's the Medal of Freedom. I think that's what it's called. It's a Citizen Award. I think that's going to be around 4 or 4:30, and I think well-deserved. And I certainly do support it. Well, let me just wrap up about this Hamas stuff. I'm very much in favor of peace. like I'm for peace. But Israel, they kind of gave up the store, right? They lost 1,200 or so citizens. Over 200 were kidnapped. Awful persecution, awful torture. And they gave up the store, really, to have this attempt at peace, like they've been doing for years and years and years. Talking about genocide. Yeah, there's been genocide against Israel, against the Jewish people. But this peace plan has a long way to go, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't start building the Trump Tower yet. I wouldn't be working on the 5th floor yet of the Ritz-Carlton. Hamas has got to be disarmed and disbanded. You think these people are going to give up their power? You look at the Democrats, the socialist, Marxist, woke, progressive Democrats. They don't give up power. They're holding the country hostage right now with a government shutdown because they lost the debate regarding the big, beautiful bill cuts. Now they're trying to put $200 billion back into the budget that they lost months ago. I hope peace works. I wouldn't be investing my money yet. I really have appreciated Vice President Vance. I have to tell you, I wasn't exactly on board with his selection. Not because I disagree with him or don't like him. I really am a Vance supporter. I really do like him. But I didn't think strategically he was the best choice as far as to win the election, but obviously I was wrong. But the more I hear him, the more I see him, the more I am impressed with him, and the more I think he would make an outstanding president. And I just really like him as a president, as a potential president. And Marco Rubio, I'm impressed with him. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. I want to share with you Victor Hanson Davis. Victor Hanson Davis, he's a great, he reminds me a little bit about, what was the guy, he was in the wheelchair for a long time. He was on Fox. He died of some debilitating disease. Really smart guy. Do you remember him? I can't remember his name.
I am not. If any of our listeners know, please text us in.
Text us. That. You know who I'm talking about out there. He was really a smart person. He had some debilitating disease, and he would come on as a commentator. Anyway, Victor Hanson Davis reminds me of him. And Victor Hanson Davis talked about, I'm not one to give advice to the president, but if I were to advise him, I would encourage him to just remind the people that he's not doing anything else he's not doing anything that other presidents haven't done. Listen to this audio about Victor Hanson Davis say, hey, President Trump, remind the people that you're not doing anything more than what previous presidents haven't done.
I usually don't give advice to Donald Trump, who knows much more about politics, obviously, than most of us. But I think he could use maybe a suggestion on messaging. He's getting attacked by the left for autocratic use of presidential powers. He's dictatorial. Donald Trump, I think, could remind people that he's just following the precedents that he inherited. Barack Obama issued about 260 executive orders. He said, I have a phone and I have a pen, and I'm going to bypass Congress. Barack Obama deported more people than any other prior president. In 2016, Barack Obama bombed 7 different countries, 26,000 bombs, again, without congressional authorization. So whether it's executive orders or the border or the president's executive powers as commander-in-chief, all he has to say is he's doing nothing ahistorical or unprecedented. And the prior precedent was established by Joe Biden and Barack Obama, and he is just following in their illustrious tradition.
That is absolutely correct. You can't argue with that. I mean, I have to tell you, brother extraordinary producer, Brother Logan, today, I'm impressed with my show today. I have pulled out from the archives some tremendous audio. I mean, we have talked about the government shutdown in their own words. I have given you Bobby Kennedy in his own words. I'll give you Bill Clinton, the first Magna, in his own words. Victor Hanson Davis has just reminded us that Barack Obama bombed 7 countries. I mean, I'm telling you, that's good advice. President Trump should be telling the world, the country, more and more about he's doing nothing more than what Biden and Barack also did. There's nothing strange. There's nothing about Hitler or being a dictator here. There's nothing to see. Well, I got to share these 2 audios with you because I've just got to clear out my patch here because I've got so much more other stuff I got to have for you tomorrow. But Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have sure changed their tune when it comes to immigration. I was looking through some archive stuff and I said, okay, what did the Democratic Party stand for when it came to immigration years and years ago? I mean, Hillary Clinton, when she was kind of in her prime, when Bill Clinton was what did they stand for when it came to immigration? What were they out there touting to, the heartland? Do you remember? It wouldn't fly today in the present progressive, woke, socialist, Marxist Democratic Party. Now, I'm sorry if that offends you, but that's who you are if you're a Democrat. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just telling you that's who you are because this would not be accepted in today's Democratic Party. Listen first to what Hillary Clinton said about immigration.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
I haven't heard Donald Trump say anything about having to learn English. I mean, in all of his in all of his conversations, I've never heard him say that. He may think it. Can you believe that Hillary Clinton said that? Learn English, get in line, pay a fine, be deported if you commit a crime? You couldn't make her say that today. And yet that's what she said. That's what she believed. All right, here's Bill Clinton. This is what he believed.
You got to check this out.
We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. By cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens, to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, the public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Deport more? I cannot. I'm glad you're listening today. I'm glad you're listening today. I don't know where you're listening from. You're probably listening from all over the place. Some of you may have wrecked your car. You think this is AI. You think I've made this up. This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. But you know what's sad about what I've done for you today? You know what's sad? I mean, I've played for you today in their own words, the hoax about the shutdown. I've played for you today in Bobby Kennedy's own words, the truth about COVID and the truth about the the Center for Disease Control firings. I played for you in their own words Bill and Hillary Clinton's views about immigration. And you know what's sad about all of that? What's sad about all of that, it will convince none of you. None of you. And you know who I'm talking about. You know who you are. Because it's not really about the truth. It's about power. It's about politics. I've got more coming your way before we call it a day here. You're listening to Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley filling in. We'll be right back.
Todd Starnes.
But if you want to talk about problems, talk about Joe Biden, who literally funded Iran's nuclear program.
It's the Todd Starnes Show, weekdays noon till 3 on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Hey, Corey, I got a little quiz for you. When was gas about 30 cents a gallon? And when did Arnold Palmer win his first Masters?
Let me take a guess. 1958.
Oh, you read that just perfectly, Corey. I appreciate that. And the best thing of all, Dad and I started an electronic sales company in 1958. I was the gopher and he was the thinker.
One thing I have learned to appreciate more is in this day and age where AI is important, the credence you give to having a live person answer the phone and say, "May I help the person?"
AI is a good technology that we've embraced in our cameras, access controls, burglar alarms, fire alarms. It has a place, but may I is just as important. They want somebody caring about their problems.
So please give us a call at 770-532-3334 and look us up online at electronicsalesco.com.
Have you been driving 25 in a 55 mile per hour zone? Are your passengers concerned about your vision? Don't let glare at night or in the rain slow you down. Hi, this is Kim. Here at Advanced Eye Center, we offer all laser LASIK, clear lens exchange, specialty lenses with laser cataract surgery, as well as contacts and designer glasses. Our doctors handle a wide variety of vision problems for people of all ages and are skilled at providing fantastic solutions. Come see why we're voted best in Hall County year after year. Advanced Eye Center, vision correction for all ages.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet newsroom, 7 commuters are killed in Monday afternoon's multi-vehicle wreck on I-85 in Jackson County. Details at Access WDUN. And coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
Use the Access WDUN talk and text line, presented by M&R Rental at 770-535-2911, and be part of the conversation. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
All right, well, welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley, and I am hot today. Thank you, my friend Kerry. He wrote me, he said, "You're on fire today, Dr. T." Light him up. Oh, Lord have mercy. You know, can you tell I like this? You know I like it. Oh, man. And nothing, and you know, and here's the cold hard truth. Everything I've told you today, I've told you the truth. Everything. Nothing I've told you today is not the truth. All right, well, if you go to the webcam there, the YouTube, and hit Access North Georgia, and then go scroll down to see the little box, you'll see me live and in person on the webcam. And you see I got a hat on. You see that hat? That's my Gainesville Police chaplaincy hat. I brought my props. See, there's a red MAGA hat in the front because that was a prop I used to do a Bill Clinton story about when he was the first to say, "Make America Great." I like to do props. I'm a visual learner. So I wore that for a little while. And now I put on my Gainesville Police Chaplaincy hat because this is a story I want to share with you because it needs to be talked about. I am the chaplain for the police department here in Gainesville, and these men and women serve us well. And I love and appreciate them. And I get to ride along with them. I get to talk to them. I get to counsel some of them. I get to pray with them. I get to be with them, and I love and care for them. And this is a story that was just a couple of days old, but it's a sad story, and it needs to be told, no matter how sad it is. It's tragic, but it needs to be told because you and I need to be reminded of what these men and women do for us and the risk they take. This is a story out of Missouri, and a police officer there, a young father, 41 years old, a husband, a father, a National Guardsman, 41 years old, shot, fatally shot while serving a warrant. He goes up to a house to serve a warrant, and the guy meets him there and just murders him. And then the guy shoots himself and kills himself. Why didn't he shoot himself first? Why didn't the coward shoot himself first? Why did he have to shoot the police officer? This is sad. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know this happens more often than you think. And you should appreciate our officers. I mean, even when you may be pulled over on the side of the road right now with a blue light flashing behind you because you were speeding in a school zone, or you ran through a stop sign, or you don't have a tag on your car, and you may be sitting there listening to me right now. The guys back there, or the lady officer, or the man officer right there writing you a ticket, and you ought to be, when they come up to your door, you ought to put your hand out and shake their hand and thank them. Because these men and women put themselves on the line every day. This husband, this father, murdered, killed for attempting to serve a warrant in his community. And this coward shoots the officer and then kills himself. He should have just killed himself. Sad. And that's why I'm wearing my hat in honor of all of our police officers. They serve us well. Don't forget it. All right, let me move to this story here because I have just a couple of minutes to go, but I want to share with you this video. Trump has been criticized for destroying boats out of Venezuela and other countries who are headed to America with drugs and etc. Even some of the Republican, why in the world, Lisa Murdoch or Murkowski, whatever her name is, and the dude from Louisiana, what's his name? Dr. So-and-so. I never did have much confidence in him. He's a senator. Rand Paul. I don't have much. Oh, by the way, thanks to our texter, we understood the name is Charles
Krauthammer. That's who we
Krauthammer.
got. And we've had a couple of people call and text in about that, and we thank all of you for it.
Thank you, listeners. I knew you had that name. Yeah, I know exactly. I remember it now. But anyway, Trump is refusing to strike out. Refusing to rule out striking, Venezuela. We're not going to put up with drugs coming out of Venezuela. If you're in a speedboat, you're not going to outrun the laser. Let me tell you, you're not going to outrun the laser. Listen to this. This is a great story.
Breaking today, the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, confirming another deadly strike on a narco-trafficking boat off the coast of Venezuela. 1 second it's there, the next second it's not. Hegseth says it was packed with substantial amounts of narcotics headed for the United States. The move comes after a White House memo sent to Congress saying America is now in a formal armed conflict with the drug cartels. Let's bring in Brett Sadler, retired Navy captain and former Pentagon official, and Derek Maltz, the former acting DEA administrator and Penlink senior vice president. So complaints from Democrats and Republicans alike prompted that letter that the White House sent to Congress in terms of the engagement with cartels. It said in part The president determined these cartels are non-state armed groups, designated them as terrorist organizations, and determined that their actions constitute an armed attack against the United States. The president determined that the United States is in a non-international armed conflict with these designated terrorist organizations. The president directed the Department of War to conduct operations against them pursuant to the law of armed conflict. Since we're talking about military operations, Brent, let's start with you. Is the president on solid legal ground here?
He does have a legal case, and I think it can be made that he's acting effectively as a commander-in-chief against imminent danger, that we know drugs that are killing tens of thousands of American citizens. So I think that is the case, at least that's been heard being made. There's another case to be made about taking a preeminent tack before it gets to the United States. And there's a history there of intercepting these type of craft for flag inspection, goes back to anti-piracy operations for what's being done on international waters and international airspace.
All right, Derek, last week at the United Nations, the president declared that these new operations have basically dried up smuggling on the ocean by boat. Listen to what he said.
People don't like taking big loads of drugs in boats anymore. There aren't too many boats that are traveling on the seas by Venezuela. They tend not to want to travel very quickly anymore. And we've virtually stopped drugs coming into our country by sea.
But we did see that boat that was out on the water this morning that got blown up, that the Secretary of War provided the video for, so they have not stopped. But Derek, I mean, you used to be in special operations. This was your bailiwick. This has got to be a huge psychological blow to the cartels. They used to think the worst that would happen to them was they'd be interdicted and arrested. Now they're going to be blown to kingdom come.
Exactly. So let's keep it real simple for the viewers, right? Historic amounts of American deaths from poison coming from the terror cartels requires an aggressive historic response. As a citizen, I have never seen drug boats being hit with kinetic strikes. I am very proud to be an American today to see that this president and the administration is standing up for families and communities all over the country.
Isn't that great? Let me make this very clear for our listeners. I love that guy. I love that guy. What is the problem? Okay? What is the problem? I mean, do we have to have 10,000 hours of hearings to determine if that boat has drugs on it or not? I mean, we have intel. You have people checking it out. You got to trust somebody. I say blow them to smithereens. Keep it off our coast. Keep it out of our schools. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. You're listening to Tom